Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever FPL Armchair Managers YouTube podcast. I'm Ruben, I am manager of Strand Welbeck, formerly known as Pending Moderation, as my name was disallowed. And I'm here with...
You're with Harry.
Harry!
I
know Harry.
It says Netflix and Chilwell. Not quite as Pending Moderation.
No.
Which I genuinely thought was your name whilst that was going through all of that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have said that my name was actually that bad.
Did you share it on here, or are we going to get shut down if you share it?
It was a little play on a Prodigy song, just smack my Petrovich up. I didn't think it was that bad really, but there we go. The FPL guys didn't like it.
I don't really quite know what's wrong with that.
No,
in all fairness.
indeed.
I've seen worse go through.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think there's quite a few that have been shared that will make their way through that shouldn't do this year, but yeah, let's see. Perhaps we can do a rundown of some of what we've found. But so yeah, effectively light-hearted podcast around FPL, really talking about the FPL ecosystem that we live in. So Harry and I, our teams, and the Crouch Potato mini league that we play in, and just kind of a bit light-hearted and a little bit of fun, really, nothing too serious. I can tell you our credentials, which are absolutely incredible. We were just outside 1 million in rank last year. I barely play this game, so probably that's my best achievement. So it is just a little bit of fun. How about you, Harry? Did you manage to have a look at where your best ever rank was?
No, I mean, I feel like probably 1 million out of however many is probably a solid shout, because it normally gets to October and I then completely forget about it because I've rage quit. But obviously, this head-to-head thing's changed it all. So yeah, I don't actually think I've got any form of anything to actually sort of pin at my mast to, in all fairness. So yeah, I'm pretty useless at this one, I think, but we'll see.
What I do
this
then,
is where it changes.
I am reigning champion of the Couch Potato mini league. So
yeah, as you've reminded everyone all summer.
I am the best of the bunch. You can label the bunch whatever you want, but
were you actually the highest point scorer?
Let's not talk about that. So the format of our mini league is this the head-to-head one? So tell us a bit about it, Harry, and how it all kind of works, because it's quite nice.
Works, yeah. Pretty straightforward. It's all head-to-head. So what was it? Last year we decided to mix it up. I think the conventional fantasy football league, where is that combined score? Like with everyone, you get 2 or 3 people play it properly, and then everyone else is switched off probably by September, October time. So 16 of us head-to-head, mixed background in football, I think is probably the best to say. Some people have been bullied into it, some people genuinely love it. And yeah, I still don't get 16 fixtures against 38 game weeks, but there we go. 16, then you're literally drawn against one person each week. Normal conventional fixture list, and it's a case of whoever scores the most weekly points that week will win the 3 points, or if it's a tie, 1 point. And obviously if you lose, that's nothing. So it's almost conventional football, if you can say such a thing in such a fantasy world. Yeah.
And I think for me that's what's changed it. So I was one of those, I'd start an FPL team and I'd just leave it. Last year I got really into it, and I think my football fandom days as a Norwich fan, as you can see, were very exciting on the yo-yo up and down the leagues. The best year ever was League One. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that agree with me. That was a very, very fun league, despite the start to it, getting an absolute whooping at Colchester. But yeah, I would leave it. Whereas last year I got really into this FPL mini league that we had, and then the actual Premier League as well. So, and even this week, so our quality of production is that we've managed to get together on a Sunday morning. So although we're going to share our Gameweek 1 teams, we know a little bit about what's gone on already. I don't remember the last time I watched 3 games of football on the TV in 2 days. So
no, I don't think I've actually. When you think about it, I even flicked on the 3 o'clock kickoffs yesterday. So I can't remember the last time I did that.
Yeah. So it's good for that, definitely. So this season's FPL, there's been a few a few changes, isn't there? So I think last season's assistant managership was pretty cool. Oh, that was quite good, sure. Good fun, but doesn't look like that's in there this season. So it's effectively double chips.
Yeah.
What have we got? We've got triple captain, bench boost, free hit, and a wild card. One of each of those for the first half of the season. One of each for after. Another couple of changes would be we've got these 5 transfers for the African Cup of Nations. I think that's Gameweek 16. And there's a few points changes as well. I don't know if you know much about the points changes to share.
I looked. I couldn't give you the full breakdown of it, but I mean, it was definitely something that went into consideration when actually picking the team, because obviously the defenders boost on points, which is down to kind of like their defensive contributions.
Yeah.
Clearances, interceptions, tackles, and I think there's also a boost on the goalkeepers as well, isn't there, with saves inside the penalty area.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the exact break. I think it's about 5. Theoretically, it's 5 or 6 points.
Yeah. On
top of the appearance, clean sheets, and theoretically any assists and goals as well on top of that. So.
Yeah. And a slight drop in points for attackers. I think strikers taking penalties don't get bonuses and other bits and bobs like that. But we're not here for the detail. We're in play fun. So
although you say that, we'll go into the teams in a bit, I guess. But that was a factor with picking the team.
Yeah.
Because I didn't quite know what was potentially the best system for the game. Obviously, years gone by, it was absolutely load the front and try and get as many attacking wing backs in defence.
Yeah. Okay. Which, I was trying to get a little bit of a balance of that. So yeah, should we do a big reveal? Should we have a look through? Do you want my team or your team? What should we?
Let's go. Let's reigning champion. I think it's only fair that you go first.
Yeah. I had that little caveat before this comes out.
Well, you're not going to. I mean, this time next year, it won't be you.
Yeah. Well, thanks ever so much. But I
don't think it'll be me either. But still.
Okay. Cool. So no step by steps here. This is my team laid bare for game week 1 of this season. So. I think I tried to be a little bit creative. As a defender myself, I couldn't help but look at the back line with the DEFCON points that have come in. Tried to make sure I play a few of those. My team was set a couple of days.
You got 3 at the back though, weren't you?
Yeah, it was set a couple of days beforehand. So for me. The only real question mark here that I really wasn't sure about was the Sanchez in goal. I don't know how that Chelsea defence is going to play. I think Palace will probably score. They're pretty decent kind of moving forward, but they've got good fixtures. So that was my kind of thinking there with the Sanchez. The other option would be Sells, but as you can see, I've got a double Forest's defence anyways. So. My thinking around Forest is they had a good season last year. Will they do it again? I don't think so. But if you look at their pre-season, they kept I think 5 clean sheets through pre-season. They're pretty inept moving forward. They don't score or haven't scored many goals, so didn't necessarily kind of consider Wood for attacking threat. But I think defensively they will remain strong. Both Murillo and Williams are good for. DEFCON points, so I think they'll scoop up some decent clean sheets. To couple those, I wanted to have a slightly more attacking player in there, so Pedro Porro has had a decent pre-season, gets forward a lot, creative, and kind of hopeful for him for attacking returns was my thinking. So that's my kind of back line.
Sanchez, Pedro Porro, Murillo, and Nico Williams.
Yeah, so and I've got Richards and Esteve, or however you kind of say his name on the bench. I think Richards. I think Palace have got some tricky fixtures to navigate, but again, he's a DEFCON player. I think he'll score some decent points on that. And let's be honest, the Burnley defender is there just because he's cheap and he plays. So that's.
Yes, he is supposed to be quite attacking, I think. I think.
Yeah, I think out of the kind of Sunderland and Leeds players and Burnley players, they're the ones that are around the 4 million and actually do play. he's just the one that I picked. There's no real other kind of science to it, to be honest. I did want to invest a bit in midfield. I think that there are quite a few more points up for grabs for midfielders because they can qualify for the DEFCON. They get more points for scoring a goal. The penalty takers get the extra point as well, I think, for that goal. So yeah, that's where I spent a few quid. It was still on the attacking line, a little old school, but I backed it up with the defence that should score me the new points, the DEFCON points. So Mo Salah, I couldn't go against the millions of other people that chose to go with Mo Salah, and I know that it's a big topic of conversation.
53%.
He's I mean, well, I mean, at times it was ridiculous, his ownership numbers. So he's at 54.4% at the minute, and I just couldn't go against that. Yeah, and I do think that he will score good points. Saying that, opening game, he didn't really look like he wanted to be there, in my opinion. But there you go. Palmer, I think the Chelsea summer has been amazing. I think they'll score goals. End of last year was a bit of a shit show, I guess, is the best way of saying it for Palmer. But you know, he's a good player. I think they'll do well. I think they'll have a great season this year. Might even contend if they can make a few signings at the back. Bruno Fernandes, I think I scooped him in last year at the right time. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he has absolutely everything. He will still score goals. He will create goals. He will get stuck in and tackle. He will scoop man of the match. Many a time. I think he will be the absolute driving force. He chose to stay at Man U despite ridiculous offers for sums of money. So he wants to be there, and I think that will prove in the points. They've got tough fixtures.
It'll be interesting to see how he plays in the system, because obviously with the signings that they've got, I don't know if he'll be as far forward or potentially deeper. But yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that the only variable is where's he going to fit into the system.
Yeah, and he gets forward still. He will get stuck in for tackles, so that'll be good. He'll get up for set pieces and whatnot. So I think he'll be in and around the mix to scoop up goals and assists.
Oh yeah.
So he's possibly a little bit of a roll of the dice, but Mbeumo and Kuna weren't on the cards within there for me. But I think with them around, and Sesko now, I think with them around, it will bring attacking returns for Fernandes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall, I think it's great. I think Everton are on a bit of resurgence. They're doing well. I think he'll score good points. I think he's going to play quite far forward. Decent player for the money, as far as I'm concerned. I think he's a 5 million player. He'll score reasonable points. Sure. Reinders, if you saw what he got up to over pre-season and you've looked into his background, he is a really, really attacking and creative player, as shown.
Well, he's labelled as a new Iniesta, isn't he? That's
is he?
People are labelled him as. Which, when you think how Iniesta played in peak Barcelona back in the 2010s tiki-taka era.
Yeah.
If he doesn't even just rekindles half of that.
Yeah. Then he's gonna absolutely take the mick out of that 5.5 million that he costs. So yeah, and everything yesterday went via him in some way or another. It was absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
So I did my front line, being completely open with you. Watkins, I just felt that he would play 90 minutes against a Newcastle team that hadn't won all pre-season. I didn't want to roll the dice on Gyökeres and Ekitike, so I put in Watkins for a bit of stability and consistency. That didn't pay off, but I think Watkins will score good points. But I just want to see how Gyökeres plays out. He would hopefully be a kind of straight swap at some point.
Well, behind Mo Salah, the last 2 seasons, he's been the second most goal contributions as goals and assists. So yeah, it's just a safe bet.
It is. And it could pan out to be a bit of a funny season for these guys. You know, Forest and Villa haven't got into Europe. Palace as well. I think it is with whatever's going on with them. So that there's a lot of teams in Europe this year that haven't had to deal with that, and I think that might have an impact. But let's see how it plays out. And again, Mark Guy as a forward, he might well play. He's cheap.
Is that actually how you pronounce his name, or is that just
well, I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If I go all cosmopolitan,
I can't correct you because I don't know myself. But it just doesn't sound right.
Gooey. We'll find out when he absolutely rockets one in this weekend. When the commentator goes crazy for it. So yeah, and Dubravka, obviously he's a 4 million keeper that plays, and he has played.
Yeah.
So
he's a hard team.
You can sense that my kind of get up here is, will they play or not? I've rolled the dice on a couple of players, but
you definitely stacked it. I thought you might have had a slightly stronger bench, to be honest, but you have stacked the midfield. So yeah. That like your bench plays, well, they should play theoretically.
Yeah, I think when we spoke before, I shared a team a couple of weeks back, and it was a little different. I'd spread myself a bit more, kind of across all 15 rather than just the 11. But plans of a potential bench boost over the first few games, I think.
I think all of the actual experts are saying something like that. I mean, I don't think we can throw ourselves into that category, but a lot of the stuff out there are saying bench boost fairly early on.
Yeah, and I think the theory behind that is you've got unlimited transfers up to game week 1, so you've got a chance to move it about so that you can score points on your bench early doors.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing it, you could possibly do it straight after a wild card, because it's the same, so you get to pick your whole team again. But trying to manipulate a bench strong partway through the season with the limited transfers becomes a bit tricky. So, talk about getting rid of it early. I don't know about getting rid of it. It needs to be thought out, and that's what I've tried to do a little bit here. So, yeah. So that's me.
I'm a firm believer of get points on the board early on, especially that head-to-head. Win that first game of the season.
Yeah, get it going. No, I felt pretty comfortable first game up until yesterday's evening game. Anyways, let's take a look at you then. The big reveal.
Over there.
What are you?
I mean, so similar to yourself, albeit there's similarities and there's not. I mean, obviously we both got Sanchez in goal, haven't we? I mean, I would like, although it looks like he may potentially get changed and he has got a howler in him, he should have a defensive back line in front of him, and I would go a little bit further than what you said for Chelsea. I would actually be a bit disappointed if Chelsea aren't in the mix up until the latter stages of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, without going off a complete tangent, if you actually sort of put their team against, say, a Liverpool team, the individual talent is just as good. So I've gone with Sanchez on the hope that they've actually got a decent back 4 in front of them, or 3, 5, however they do it. Then next up, now this was the bit with the new point system. I wasn't really... kind of spread my bets a little bit in the sense of that I believe that there may be a need to bring centre backs back into the team primarily for the defensive contribution side to it. So I threw Conser in.
Yeah.
That did well until he decided to clothesline to Gordon.
Yeah.
Blair Bolden with his new hairstyle, with his new haircut within that one. Dorgu United. I mean, pre-season he's been playing almost sort of like a deep line wide player, so we'll see what happens with that one again.
I think
he's pretty similar again, but I think last year he did alright on the assist, so
I think he's a really good pick. He was one for me that is in major consideration, and he sits firmly at the top of my little spreadsheet of players to watch. I just wanted to see him get some minutes and get stuck in a bit, but he's had a decent pre-season, definitely.
I mean, I forget you're a spreadsheet guy.
Well, I don't remember if not. I'm actually a pen and paper guy, but yeah.
Then threw in Wan-Bissaka because I feel it depends what West Ham has, what West Ham do this year. I mean, it's a bit of a punt in the dark with that one. I mean, if West Ham do get their, I think it's Diouf over at West Ham who's supposed to be the other decent sort of attacking, but I wanted to spread out between attacking defenders and actual sort of defenders. So I've got Wan-Bissaka, and I then also got Gay here, Crystal Palace. The only reason why he's not in my actual starting 11 because I feel like Chelsea might score a brace. So I thought I might just keep him out and keep him on the bench. So I have gone with 5 defenders that I can swap in and around, and now I'm sat here looking at this, obviously conscious suspended. So Gay is getting called up next week, no matter what happens.
Yeah. Well, he's. I tell you, you've got a reasonable midfield line with Kudus and Grealish, so you could potentially pay free at the back, couldn't you?
It'll just be a stencil. I think it'll probably be. I mean, that'll be the next conversation, but I think it will just be a straight up Kudos in for Concert, and then depending on how the others do, Gay, he might get a call up as well. I mean, Palace look good in the Community Shield, so if they are their usual self, then he might even come in as well anyway. So
that Palace team are being pecked at, which I think is a shame. They're going to lose a couple more players potentially before the window closes.
I think Eze will go to Spurs by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and to me, I think Gay looks prime for a move to maybe Liverpool or
I know Liverpool are after it, but the one thing I'm unsure about with the Liverpool move is that if he goes to Liverpool, I don't understand how Liverpool will then complete the move with Isak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spinning plates, especially with that sort of FF. What is it, the financial fair play stuff?
Yeah.
Although Liverpool's net spend is only about 40-50 million, I think, because I think they've sold about 150 million and only spent about 200 so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
see what works out. But then into midfield, it's Reinders, Palmer, and Wirtz. In all fairness, Luke was the one who told me about Wirtz about 3 or 4 years ago. It might have been the Euros when he was a youngster and he was tearing it up. Looked alright pre-season. Palmer, I think Palmer will be pretty reliable, given. I'm assuming he'll play almost as an inverted wide player. And I don't know where Pedro will fall into all of that, but I've tried to sort of mix it with that one. And then up front, we have gone straight with João Pedro, Haaland and Watkins. But I feel as if I did have Saka in my midfield all the way up until probably Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
And then I took him out because I then realised that I need three players on the bench that I feel as if last season it was a case of I was having to make transfers to make sure I had 11 players actually playing.
Yeah.
And even I think even some weeks I think then I still only end up with 9 or 10. Which fundamentally cost me the lead.
You've got a strong team there. I think you'll end up with a lot of points on your bench each week. Possibly going, I should have put him in this week.
The captain picks are always what dictate who wins the match, to be perfectly honest. So to throw that one in, I've now got the captain's pick and also the bench pick to try and knock balls up.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you can probably see, you might be able to see on that one, but I have, unlike you, I have thrown the bench boost out game week 1.
Yeah, I mean, production value is absolutely incredible here at Armchair Managers. So, no, we aren't aware that you've got the bench boost. But one day, in Utopia, we'll have a little badge up there that's got any kind of chips that we're playing. So, yeah, you're on bench boost active, which probably looking quite good. Dubravka did well, and Kudus did well.
It's simply a case of I picked my 11 and I still don't trust I picked the best 11 from my 16.
15 players.
Throw it in. I think that's a solid one to begin with.
I think so.
And then I want to try and save the transfers up and then get to it, and then I can then make 4 or 5 changes in one. When needed.
Yeah, I think I might look at a free hit after a few weeks, but really I think wildcarding around the second international break is probably the way that I'll play it. I'll just see how this team rolls out and kind of save up some transfers maybe to do anything kind of big that I might
so many curveballs with new players coming to the league and new systems. It's a stab in the dark.
Yeah, and Mo Salah, he did look completely upset to be a Liverpool player and didn't look like he wanted to be there. I'm sure he'll snap out of that, and this front line will gel nicely. I think Wirtz was absolutely brilliant. Ekitike was brilliant. Salah will most definitely create and score, which he has done. So, that Liverpool front line looks amazing, but there's always but Haaland's pretty good, right?
I think obviously last year incredible. He's not going to get the same numbers as last year, which then means that I think he's quite an expensive player. When obviously you look at Haaland last year, he didn't score for 6 months or God knows how long. So I think you need one of, and I think Haaland's probably the safer bet at this stage. Whilst you work out what Salah you're going to get this season.
Yeah, I appreciate your advice. A little bit too late. Thanks ever so much. Really do. I think
you captained him as well, didn't you?
I captained Salah. Yeah, I went safe. I gambled slightly with Reinders and Ekatike and what have you. And I think I was then all out of rolling the dice any further. I just didn't know. Ekatike was the one, but I just didn't know if he was going to deliver or not in his first game. Pretty emotional kind of scenes at Anfield, but he did. So there we go. Maybe for another time. Cool. So for you, must-haves, Haaland. For me, a must-have is Fernandes. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what Man City we get this year. I mean, obviously we're sat here now with hindsight. Man City still look incredibly soft at the back, but obviously that shouldn't affect unless there's a big system change.
Yep.
Productivity going forwards. So I think they're going to be that sort of concede 3 and score 4.
Yeah.
Possibly this season.
Going back to that period at Norwich, really, that was kind of what our ethos was. We'll just score more goals than you will, which is super exciting. I think. Chelsea, Man U and Spurs aren't going to have the same season they did last year. They should step up a bit. I think Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, all will be vying for top spot. I think they'll all be giving it a good push. We'll see how that.
I mean, I feel as if Arsenal will probably be the 4th out of those. I don't think they'll be. I think Liverpool. I mean, when the players bed in, I think Liverpool there, but I still maintain Chelsea are stepping up. So.
Yeah. I think. I don't know, Arsenal fans will be getting a bit frustrated with the lack of silverware, and now the neighbours have gone and picked up some silverware. That probably won't make them very happy, but yeah, we'll see. I think I was talking to an Arsenal fan yesterday and saying that I think Havertz I don't think he scored double digits last season, but he was out for a large chunk of it. So Gyökeres coming in, hopefully with the two of them, I think they'll score more.
Well, Havertz has historically always played behind the striker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that they had a centre back up played striker as well at some point as well.
Yeah. And still had the season they did. So who knows? That's
for sure.
How it plays out for them, but yeah, it should be an exciting season, I think. So kind of we put on here to discuss about your kind of pledges and your aims for the season and for what our kind of podcast schedule will be. I think
better than this current schedule.
Better than this. Well, we have put together a mini league. Now this might be late, but this is to start to build a community around and bring some people on board with. So if you want to come and battle against Harry and I for top points, we're always going to have the caveat that the most important thing for us is just getting more points than the person we're playing against in our mini league. So it's not like we're out there to get as many points as we possibly can. I think occasionally they will probably take a transfer hit here and there and start on a -4 or whatever. So it's slightly different for us, but it'd be very great to get a bit of a community together. And I think the light-hearted nature of this podcast, so it's a bit of a chat about our teams, football in general, maybe someone in the mini league, if people join and do well in that, might want to have a little segment, have a little chat with us about their team and their thoughts on FPL, especially if they're absolutely sensational and far better than our just outside the million rankings. Then get them in for a chat. But that's
incredibly possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my 6-year-old son might have a better chance. But there we go. That's the whole point of it, right? Just something light-hearted. We'll get together once a week or so. A bit of a weekend preview, and a review of the weekend gone by is the aim. Short and sharp, bit of fun. Probably a little bit of mickey taking between the two of us as we settle in and get a bit more comfortable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, especially when we then go against each other as well.
Do you know when that is?
I haven't actually looked at the fixtures of what game we're actually going up against each other.
No, I've got to put it out there though. I'm playing against your partner this week, and 100% you have been in her ear helping her pick that team. So it feels like Henry actually has 2 stabs at this mini league at times. So yeah.
In all fairness, she wasn't that interested up until I think her work one wanted to do one, and then that was when she sort of looked at it.
You said it was when the money came in.
Yeah, and also that.
Once
there was also that.
Once it was putting a few quid in the kitty, she was interested. So
you're not going to believe it. You are not going to believe it. We're game week 2.
Are we next week?
We are next week.
We've just shown one another our teams, what our thoughts are for next week. I mean, I could see a triple captain coming in. Harry's going to be game week 4 with no chips left. Brilliant.
It's unbelievable. I think the thing is that you can't really go off historical form. So I don't know. What was it? I think you won the league, and I think I was 3rd or 4th last year.
Yeah.
Only about 6 or 7 points back off of you.
Yeah.
But there's some people in the league who've obviously, with the beauty of us actually chatting now on a Sunday, have started well. I mean, Darren started
definitely.
well. Briggsy started well. I think there's a couple of others that are also sort of looking like they're going to be sort of tipping over the 70-point mark.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
And even though I won that league, I stumbled over the line. I think what was really weird, when you get into top spot, when people play against you, they all of a sudden seem to care about the FPL team. So you end up playing like the best version of each individual because they're really trying to beat you. And that's a slog to kind of keep up against.
Well, the top 10
up
until about the last sort of 5, maybe even 7 weeks were still within it. Although I think Temp needed some results to go their way, they were still in it. So when they were playing you, it was a 6-point game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's great fun.
6-pointer for sure.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to it this season. And I think being able to log it through this and our journey, I think is great fun. So come along for the ride. Give us a like and a follow and join that mini league. Come and join us for a bit of fun on a weekly basis. We won't bamboozle you with loads of statistics. If we do, you'll probably be bamboozled because we got them wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, I think anything that we say, do the opposite.
On that note, best of luck with it all, and I'll see you on the pitch for a coin flip next week, Harry.
Yeah, well, I can't believe it's game week 2, but yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, look forward to it. Cool. Thanks all. Have a good one.
See you later.